welcome to Unbiased and on the Fence. I'm Shane, and I do have Michelle with me on this very special Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. We're saying, like, what are the odds, eh? Never mind that it's the 222, right? But the fact that it happens out of all 7 days of the week could have landed on any day, but for it to land on a Tuesday.
Yeah. I think that's proof that I think this thing is a game. I think,
Yeah.
it's universal, just like other synchronicities. It's sort of winking at us. And tonight, wherever you are at 10:22, it will actually be 22:22, on 24-hour time, military time, as they say. So, I don't know, make a wish, meditate, do something special then. We just passed the 222 in the afternoon. And so you were, what a perfectly good song. She was playing Pink Floyd for me right then.
Yeah.
While I was trying to get it all set up and stuff.
Oh, is that when we hit the 222 mark?
Beautiful.
When I was playing, keep me comfortably numb.
Yeah, so I had some tech issues with getting YouTube changed a little bit, and then it logged into the wrong name, but I got everything squared away now. So the convoy. Okay, so Ottawa, they're still up there. There's still some people up there, but a lot of them have left and moved to other cities, and and they've really shown a big, tremendous show of force up there. Overkill. Sent the Mounties to trample grandma and stuff like that. Which
got people talking.
Oh yeah,
got people speaking up, new voices, and people asking new questions.
Yeah,
looking in new directions. So certainly have one over everybody, and there has been a heightened polarization with it as well, but also a crack in the illusion, and a real bringing to the forefront what the real issue is. Let's not mince words, like it's anti this, pro whatever. No, it's tyranny.
It's freedom versus tyranny. And that's
Yes.
the beauty of this whole thing, is because it's forcing people to sort of like when you and your brother or sister are fighting, right? And then a neighbor kid comes over and jumps in there, you guys forget about your beef, and you take care of this outsider. Well, that's exactly, it's making us all realize we're brothers and sisters in this whole thing. It's making us set aside our religious and political differences and all of that stuff, because it comes down to one thing: tyranny or freedom. Which do you want? And I love the fact that the line's being drawn and people are being exposed. I know people are trying to get people across the line, but do you really want them to? You want them to go where they naturally sort of go. And if that's how they want to live, then you should let them be, as they say.
Yep.
I'm excited about the U.S. convoy kicking off tomorrow from California, and of course we're going to be sponsoring, as they say, Adopt a Trucker or whatever. We're sponsoring
Right.
Daryl and Pam, that's taking off tomorrow, and I'm going to get to go meet them. So this thing is going to continue. I'm going to have a Zoom room open. I'll say it again on this show. A Zoom room open that people can log in. If you go to one of these overpasses like Michelle did in Canada, and you want to show people, you'll be able to log into this Zoom, click this Zoom link, hop in there, and then I can show your location wherever you are. So
that's a great idea.
So everybody wants to be a part of it. You're probably going up there anyway, and it'll be your way of sort of letting people that aren't able to, maybe they don't live near an overpass where this is happening or whatever, they can get that feeling, because, oh my gosh, I've been filled with tears so much with just seeing the outpouring of love and support. I mean, that's enough to really activate the heart chakra. You know what I mean? And my heart's just been pouring forth with love. And I know I can see those people feel it too, and I don't want to get too deep into it, because I'll start crying right now, because it's so powerful thinking about it even.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things that we come across in BQH sessions a lot, where you feel that love so strong and it'll bring you to tears and everything. But now just watching this outpouring of humanity coming together, I know there's a lot of disturbing things going on too, but that's what's waking up the others to why they want to get involved in part of this freedom movement right now.
Yeah, to see what really is at risk here.
Yeah.
To bring it to the forefront, the lengths that they will go to execute their plan, and that they do have a plan.
Right.
This isn't negligence on the part
Mm-mm.
of Trudeau. Like a lot of people are saying, like he's just, no, this is purposeful. There's a method to the madness. There's
Well, late
he
last
knows
year,
exactly what he's doing.
yeah, if you remember late last year, I felt like 2020 was going to be the vision. 2021, I felt like was going to be the year of surprises. Not all good ones, and it was. It had a lot of surprises last year. And for
Mhm.
22, I got it's going to be the year of the catch 22, right? So you look at the government right now, and they say they, or some of the people representing the government, I should say, because I think when you look at it, it's just corruption that's the problem, not so much other things. But or I have to be careful how I label it, right? So
Right.
just the corruption that's involved in there, and all of that's really being exposed of what they really are, because they say they're doing something for one reason, but then they take it so far that it can't be that reason anymore, right? It can't be
Yeah.
that reason anymore. So that's your catch 22. You're like, wait a minute, you say you're doing it for this
Yeah.
reason, but that can't be true because it makes no sense. You're right?
Yeah. It's like somebody telling you, listen, I'm doing this because I care, as they beat you over your head
Right. Exactly.
and
Exactly.
steal your money and your property.
Right.
I'm doing this because I care.
Right. Yeah.
You're so selfish. It's gaslighting on the hugest scale. It's hilarious. But it's funny, how I think so many of us have been, learning about narcissistic relationships and gaslighting, and learning, what those terms are, and bringing it out for common conversation. And then it makes it so much easier to clearly see now on a larger scale how it's done too for
Yeah.
people, as a lot of us empaths have learned and recovered over these last few years of narcissistic relationships. Like now it's like, oh, there it is on a larger scale to be addressed. It's like, I see you. I know that trick. Can't fool me anymore.
Yeah. Things are getting
So,
revealed. Things are getting obvious. And,
mm,
you got to wonder, and I've said that so many times. What will it take to wake everyone up? And it's happening right now. So we
mhm.
wake up, I don't know, we excel through adversity. It's just how we operate as humans, It's like things are going easy, like, hey, I don't need to get involved. And it's kind of like I've used the analogy of like, dad sitting on the couch and the kids are making a ruckus upstairs and he don't want to have to get up, but you finally make him get up and come up there. He's going to handle his business, right? He's going to make. And
Yeah.
we've seen it. All these people have been activated. They've been, the sleeping giant has awakened.
Yeah. Well, I really, this 2 it's really, it's really a mirror moment,
Hmm.
facing the mirror.
Yeah.
I've really seen this, and with these numbers, I really think that, and I'm seeing that even with these police officers that are coming out, or different people, maybe politicians or whatever, and they kind of have this like struck down look on their face, like, I can't believe this is actually happening, but I've basically looked at myself like in the mirror and realized I can't support this.
Right.
Like, however they phrase it or whatever, but
It's
that's
not what
really,
I thought it was. Right.
I realize, like, this is the line that I have to stand up and say, no, this is wrong. I can't agree with this. I can't follow those kinds of orders. I even I mentioned to you a woman at the rally in Ottawa there, with the whole line of cops in riot gear, and just this little woman, just a little, she's got a little wool hat on, and she didn't really have any signs, and she's not yelling or anything. She's just holding a mirror, like a vanity mirror, square vanity, and facing these
Wow.
stormtroopers, basically, right?
Powerful.
Wow, and that really is the epitome of, I think, what's going on in this energy, yeah,
Yeah.
right now. It's
Or seeing
really.
people, just calmly introduce
Mhm.
themselves to these this line of protest. What do you call them? I don't know. What are they calling them? Riot police or I don't. I have my doubts about whether they're even official
Call them
from some
stormtroopers.
the stormtroopers. Okay, so they're sitting there and they're introducing themselves, really putting a face to realize, hey, I'm a business owner, or I'm some kind of tradesman or something, and
Mhm.
saying I got 3 kids at home and this sort of thing, and really trying to let them see that, hey, I'm just a Canadian that's fighting for my freedom, and I thought that
Mhm.
was pretty powerful. That was a pretty
It
powerful way to
is.
calmly just introduce yourself, so that later when they go to hit you with a baton,
Well,
at least they'll
listen,
know who
that's
you
what they say
are.
to do in kidnap situations,
Mm,
is to humanize yourself.
right.
That you have a name, that you have people that love you and that you care about, that you
Hmm.
are, you know, that you are a person,
Yeah.
that you are real, that you have a story. Um, yeah, that's it. That's one of the tactics to survive kidnapping or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that takes real strength.
It really does.
When somebody is looking to hurt you physically, or you take your rights away, or um, lie about who you are, like the press has done, right? And
Well, putting
slander, all these things,
and
and to just
doxing,
stand in the face,
putting out people's information, doxing people. I just
everything.
on the community tab on my channel, you can go. I posted a video about this gelato shop owner that took money out of her personal account to support, give a trucker some gas for the night or whatever, and they put her information out there. So she started getting these hate calls, calling her racist and stuff because of what the media said, not because of anything that was actually going on the ground that I've seen.
Right, right,
So it's
right.
like they believe the mainstream thing now, and then they put people's information out, and that's dangerous because now you've made
It
them
really
look like a
is.
certain thing, and then you've given them. But the outpouring was so beautiful. If you guys get a chance, go to the community tab and check that video out. And if you're in the area, go support these people that's been given such a hard time, because that's exactly what happened. They showed up at the shop. There was heart-shaped balloons connected to the handle, and all of these little post-its with little notes of thank you stuck to the glass of people showing
Yeah,
their appreciation. So it's their information got out to the bad people first, but once the good people heard about it, they went up there and showed their love. And yeah,
right.
because they were threatened with bricks through the window and all sorts of things,
Yeah,
but none of it happened so far from what I've heard. But
yeah. They really are, I think, trying to start a civil war.
yeah, they want
Really.
us fighting against each other.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
main tactic here.
yeah. It's unfortunate, but I do all the craziness and everything. I have to say, and you may sound crazy to say it, but the more chaotic it's getting, the more this coming about, the more
It's
peace
fueling
in
it.
a lot of ways
Yeah.
I'm experiencing, because um I know it's the direction it's going, all the intuition, all the work, all you know getting these messages years ago to wake up and sort of hearing this calling and going through this spiritual and energetic experience and feeling your way, learning through all of that. um my intuition is stronger than it's ever been. um I feel more full of that higher guidance, and I feel more reassured than ever that this is just part of this evolution. It's part of this process, and what is coming out of it is so amazing. It's exciting. It's a roller coaster ride, but it's the same thing. It's like that trepidation, you're going, oh my gosh.
Right.
but um but yeah, what's coming ahead of us, it's bringing that forward into our physical reality, and I'm really excited to see it continue to unfold. Even though I do know it's going to get crazy.
Yeah.
um yeah.
And you know what really touched me, Michelle? I was just like realize, and I'm kind of slow to realize things sometimes, right? But like I guess it was, I don't know, last week or something with the whole convoy thing. I was thinking of how much a convoy is like a train, and how, like, you're talking about bringing stuff into reality, and how I created those two different songs about the love train, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what this is like, a
Mm-hmm.
love train of 18 wheelers basically going across Canada, because it was actually before the Canadian one even. And now it's
Yeah.
happening again, and you could think of it like the love train, and people are hopping on the love train right now and showing their support. And just to realize that that was something I sort of felt, and then seeing it come into reality like this is so amazing. So I do
Well,
want to. Oh, go ahead.
it's no, I have to add this quick because it's a dream that I had within the last couple months. It was like one of the big tsunami dreams I had, which I'm sure I told you about, where I was on this like elevated track over big body of water, like going across a huge distance. And it was, yeah, this like high speed train and the tsunami came up and just like curled and went directly over. We were able to go like right through the eye of this tsunami, but really felt like that same energy, like of going like right cross country like that in this
Yeah,
big wave,
it
and
is.
how it was really carried right through the eye of the, mm-hmm,
Wow,
eye of the wave.
energetically speaking, I would love to see how that worked, because as I already saw the build up with the different truckers and people traveling, the closer they got to Ottawa, right? The more they were
Mm-hmm.
just filled with love, because the more of these overpasses they felt the love of those people, and it added to their love, and it all coalesced, in Ottawa, and then you see all of this outburst of love and all. That's why it's
Mm-hmm.
so hard to believe that you could even believe anything that they said about him. There was nothing going on that was anything remote. It was exactly the opposite. In fact, I put out a
Mm-hmm.
video on the Telegram that shows them doing exactly the opposite of what was reported.
I'm wondering how much energetic healing all these journeys through these highways, they really are like arteries to
Yeah,
the country energetically. Like, I know experience from being rural, and we go in once a month to go do our grocery shopping, and that means getting on the highway, and then the closer we get into the city, now I can feel it. It's like a thicker static anxiety energy, like as soon as we go to start merging on the highway. And the closer we get into busier areas or into the city, it just kind of picks up till it's like a hive of it once you get
right,
into the busy section, right?
right.
But I was really seeing and feeling that amount of energy, like going across like this highway that goes right across the country, being a major artery, and really healing a lot of this energy. um I don't know if you guys sense that at all when you're on the highway driving, and you could feel like people are very quick to road rage.
Right.
and and I don't, if you've ever even experienced yourself behavior that you wouldn't even think, right? Like, where is that coming from?
Yeah.
And I really it's like this friction. It's
That's
this,
where I feel it the most, for sure. It's the where I'm.
yeah, and it's this constant track, right? It's running on a track like a stream. I've
Yeah.
seen it in dream too. One of out of body experiences I had, and looking down over like a city with the roads, and seeing like the energy that follows, like just slightly above, but like a highway of energy, right? Superimposed over these highways, and it just courses through. So I have to think like how much that negative energy has been building up over these years of as people's level of dissatisfaction with their lives, and not knowing why they're not happy in
Hmm.
this mad world,
It's bringing it all to the surface, isn't it?
right? And then it's like come out, and if you've ever experienced that, that's too easy to snap like as soon as you get in that energy.
Yeah.
But I really think a lot of this traveling these highways with this like this amount of love,
Yeah.
and seeing the faces of people, because we don't
Yeah.
do that when we're in the cars.
Yeah.
You're not looking. If you're looking, you're often criticizing, or you honk in the horn, or
Now they're
um
honking the horn for a completely different reason.
different, totally different thing. So I really think that's got to have a massive effect
Yeah, it's
on
kind of
the
like
planet itself.
it's kind of like how we, when we all went to ESETI and then we had made those energetic connections that way. And then once we went back, we still took that back with us. So it doesn't even matter how that ended in Ottawa. Those connections were made. That energy has been coalesced and sent out to the rest of the world. You can see it
Yes,
manifesting in other convoys and stuff. So it
that's
served its
right.
purpose. I don't think anybody should feel like that is, I mean, 21 days of just beaming out this love to the world, and they had
That's
to bring
right.
it to an end because they saw what it was doing, you know.
It's
So
it served its purpose though, and those people aren't going to stop. Like they're not going, they may go back, but they're going to keep traveling and coming together and and standing up and sharing experiences and wanting to hear other people's stories now. Yeah,
beautiful,
and then
and
the
it's
sharing of information, which is really going to is really picking up now. Like
yeah,
this drip, 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 and it's all the different stuff. It's coming in all at once.
and that's what this
Um,
is sort of causing, especially these stops along the way of the convoy. They're so long that people's going to be able to talk and share information, and we've been censored for so long that the only way that mouth to mouth is really the only way we've been able to share information.
that's
But they
right.
kept that from happening with the mask and the social distancing
Right.
and the stay-at-home orders and all of that.
And
But
the
now people,
censorship
yeah, and
of
then
social media,
yeah, online has been
right?
locked down. We know, so really the
Right.
only way is in person has really been the only way, except for people that know about Telegram and stuff and have figured out ways around it, or some of the Facebook message groups I'm in and things like that, or sending
Mhm.
things one by one. I'm still sharing information, but it's so slow because you have to do it so individual now. I can't just put something out big and not expect it to get taken down. You know what I mean?
Right,
But
right.
I think this is really causing some activations, with people's heart. People are feeling love at a level they've never felt before. And I think it's uncomfortable for other people. That's why they're raging and things like that, because it's a different energy and it's uncomfortable for them.
Hmm.
And even
Yeah.
last week, I want to say this: 1 week ago today was your birthday. So happy
Oh yeah.
birthday, Michelle. I
Yeah.
did want to mention that because you had some cool activations. I'm not sure what you remember. I was so deep in your session, I don't even remember a lot of the details at this point, other
It
than
was
the
like a
huge
dream.
activations. Yeah,
It was like you and me were just like I felt like we were like shoulder to shoulder, like viewing the same thing
right.
through this. Yeah, it was a really cool
It's
experience.
like that. It's like that more
Yeah.
times than you would believe. That you can sort of get pulled into this space. It's almost
Hmm.
like it's created from the higher realms. It's
Yeah.
just the whole thing's orchestrated. You saw some beautiful visuals of your energy centers being opened up and actually experiencing. Do you want to talk
Wow, it
about
was
what you
a lot.
remember?
Oh yeah, like it was definitely a session that was all about energy, which I kind of knew before. Like we both
Right.
instinctually thought, "Hey, I think we're supposed to do a session. My
Yeah,
birthday's coming
exactly.
up." And I felt like there was um it was just important. It was some activations
Yeah.
of a cyclical nature that's coming about. Um yeah, I turned 51 and I mean, I always go through a process. I feel with each birthday, but definitely a huge archetypal, deeper understanding shift within myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's been going on. So it really opened that up. Um, but that was pretty crazy energy experience. Yeah, didn't want to get into stories. Like it didn't want to. It was like blah 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 blah
Yeah, it wasn't
whatever.
about information like it normally is, because now the
No,
information should come from your heart. I think more than ever, you've got to just trust your intuition.
yeah,
That you'll be given the information intuitively in the moment as you need it, and then just
that's
trust
right.
that,
Yeah,
because there's so much disinfo and misinfo out there right now
yeah.
that you have to run everything by your heart before, you know what I mean, before you take it on at all.
Well, that's it. So, you know what? I'll say this about the experience. You talked about the heart, right? And feeling or knowing that like higher self in your heart. And through this process, like I've really felt that ground in that presence of the higher self, like the stillness of it, its ability to observe and apply compassion and just like all of it, and how I receive the messages, how it communicates and how I feel the truth within my physical body,
Right.
right? Um, But what happened with the BQH session with, like you said, opening these lower chakras, it was like dilated them, opened them more. It felt like if you'd only worn a glove ever with a closed fist, right? And you're like, okay, I can feel my fist in this glove. Like, that's all you've known. And this was like suddenly putting all your fingers like right into the glove and feeling the difference of it and be like, oh, that's like, that really fits. This is the best way that I can explain it. There's this completeness now through like all the way down to my feet, the soles of my feet, as far as this presence goes now. Like it feels fully grounded in. I almost felt like my higher self came in more, and was like shouldering over the last bit of my ego out of the way. Right? Yeah, we're moving right in here. Just stretch out. So it was really weird for a couple days, a real like duality and readjustment, even with like balance and posture, and feeling really spacey, feeling high when it wasn't even necessarily high.
We got a bunch of happy birthdays in the chat for you too.
Oh, thanks guys. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
they were
it
talking
was
about feeling sleepy, and I'd been really feeling sleepy the last few weeks, but it's kind of it's eased up. I'm still sleeping longer hours, probably 1 or 2 hours longer, but like through the night. I don't normally do that. I normally sleep a short time and maybe a nap, so I still don't get quite 8 hours a day, but I've been sleeping like 9, maybe 10 long stretches of sleeping, and so that part's changed as far as feeling sleepy in the daytime. I don't have that part of it anymore, but I have still been sleeping through the night a lot more hours and not being ready to get up when I normally would be.
Right.
So how's it been for you with? Because I know you got hit hard with that activation from the session. Like right after that, I think you had to go take a nap, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I was out of it.
Right.
I was like, yeah. I was. It was a lot of
actually. Yeah, I think I did too. I think it hit me pretty hard. But I think that was the last nap I've taken in the daytime was that day. After that, I felt pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I got an activation or reaped some benefits.
It was a real buzzy, floaty.
Yeah.
It was very physical while I was like in the hypnosis state. I was feeling these currents of energy blasting through me. I think even at one point I was like, whoa.
At one point you were like, do you see that? And I was seeing it. I can't even remember what it was now, but I was totally looking at it with you. Was it a...
Yeah, it was the genie in the bottle. It was the fire hose.
Right.
The
genie fire hose. That's
fire hose. The visuals are very strong, eh?
Yeah.
It's and they brought like an energetic thing with them. But well, the first half was interesting. The first half of the session was a lot about energy and putting me in the certain field,
right,
and opening that portal, and it put me in a white room for a little bit.
Oh yeah, to just like room, and yeah,
I was just chilling in that space, and then it gave me a bit of information in regards to this process, or why it was doing what it was doing,
right,
which was tied to sort of being Aquarius, being a water bearer, and something I visualized is in a personal understanding for me in this process is being a vessel to bear these waters, which will be poured out onto the earth, and that my process is being about clearing my vessel, clearing my subconscious and conscious, and purifying my intention to fill myself with the higher purpose, higher intention, right? And recognizing the difference. So this was showing me that what we did, this energetic process, was allowing, it was like opening up like a fire hose.
Right.
What's going to happen with all of us is this energy's really going to pour out of us, and it actually creates the tsunami. And that some of the blockages that are still in place, somewhat, it's just kind of like the nozzle, because it's about timing.
Right.
So
And
just to understand
focusing.
what the
Yeah.
process, yeah, that you're not behind. Nobody is behind. Everybody really is exactly where they're supposed to be in this process, even if it seems adverse to it. No, it's not. It creates cause and effect, and it all ripples out right to the conclusion. Yeah. So, anyways, I'll start rambling with that.
So yeah, I think that was as far as for you opening up the full seven chakras, because you had already been talking on previous shows about sort of that compression and was that the right word for it? Sort of feeling like it was activating between different chakras. So it was almost like a
Yeah.
complete activation from some of what you previously talked about. It sounded like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it explained to me in our session that we did that over the course of the last couple years, like this time that I've spent here has been really working on bringing the higher self more fully into that uh those mid chakra points,
Right.
right? And but that had been sealed off, or yeah. Sorry, I'm getting so many visuals, so I'm losing track.
Too bad you can't like just display it on the screen. Wouldn't that be cool?
That's the problem. It's like superimposing, like I'm talking to you, and then all of a sudden it's like I have another screen in my head that starts showing me the pictures, and I'm like start going back in the experience. Yeah.
Now, did we have some dreams to discuss? It seems like because we were going to actually come on here last week, and but you were still knocked
Yeah,
out the next day.
I was
we,
done.
yeah, we were
Yeah,
gonna.
I was just trying to express to you
Yeah, you couldn't even
what I
talk
was
right. We talked the
experiencing.
next day. We actually
Yes.
did talk the next day, and you were having trouble explaining all that was going on at the time.
Yeah.
You're like, I might go
Yeah.
cross-eyed today if I
I'm
try
like
to get on here.
trying to explain what I was feeling,
Yeah.
what I was experiencing. Yeah, it took a couple days to sort of settle in, and it really was having like really feeling the difference within myself, even more so, of my higher self, the presence of my higher self in coexistence with my, like, just my conscious self, the one who talks all the time in my head. Right? One talks a lot, the other doesn't. The other doesn't need words. It's just presence. It's knowing. It's there. It'll show me images. It'll give me like metaphor, archetypal measure, messages and information and downloads, but it doesn't narrate everything. It doesn't have to describe things. It doesn't have to have a plan. It doesn't have to reason. It doesn't do all those things. So there's just kind of this weird juxtaposition, like, or over each other, that threw me out of balance for a couple of days. But what it's, I'll just say this: by making more and more room for our higher selves within our physical form, um, it's purifying our intention, like our waters of intention. So what we are emitting, it simplifies, it becomes more intense, like a fire hose, like, because it's being funneled with a purified intention.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're just running all these subconscious programs or even conscious agendas of, stories of why we do what we do and what we want and all those things, it tends to diffuse, and unconscious programs, it diffuses our intentions and it scatters our energy. So a lot of times we end up working against ourselves and what we're putting out ahead of us into the universe to build, right? So by cleaning ourselves out of all of this over these last few years, it allows this, you want to say, like, Christed consciousness, those waters.
Like pure
And it's
intentions, like not
pure
my will,
intention,
but thy will be done, sort of.
because you're giving over.
Right.
Yes. That's really the humbling of yourself, right?
Yeah.
This process of realizing where you're trying to apply your agenda and what that is and what those reasons are, and recognizing and setting it aside. Yeah. So how much more powerful what we are going to be able to like manifest and change with our energetic field
Mm-hmm.
is going to be like a fire hose compared to like a lawn sprinkler.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like not even working all working.
Right. Plus, it's like being diffused in some. It's weaker because it's not
Yeah.
concentrated like the fire hose. Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read this comment. I got to put my glasses on because my eyes. Feisty Kitty says, I had a crazy dream a few nights ago that I had to negotiate a peace treaty to stop a war between the otters and the sea lions that was threatening the entire West Coast. Super weird. That's wild.
That's
oh my gosh.
awesome. Otters and sea lions. I'd be curious to look up the animal tarot
Yeah.
on those two themes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know there's an otter card.
Definitely seems symbolic to me.
Yes, and the sea lion. Yeah. I'm seeing like two different, and the over the waters. It's a very emotional topic, right? Peace treaty.
It's interesting. And it's
No,
almost
that's yeah.
like if you think about water too, that's sort of hidden, right? It's happening under the surface. I mean, that could be because there is for a lot of people they have no idea we're actually in the middle of the greatest. I don't even want to say the word of our time. You know what I mean? And it's like an information one though, and it's something we can all take part in, and we're winning big time.
Well, I will say too, the other thing is a lot of people don't realize, I think, that we're ruled over by maritime law.
Yeah. All the
They don't realize that,
that.
like part of this whole manipulation with your name as a corporation
and all that, yeah.
Capital letters, and that they're running like maritime law.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I do feel like a connection to that.
Yeah.
And the waters, the water is hugely prevalent in this whole theme. I mean, the wave dreams, the tsunami dreams, the waters, like I was going out across the water. Yeah. It's a huge force with this whole process. And it does, it brings up the unconscious to the surface. It has, hidden depths, and it has motion and movement. There's all kinds of themes to the water. So, but I'm really curious about the otter and the sea lion, and I feel like that's representing like two of these opposing personality types, right?
Yeah. Green heart, night. Thanks for hanging out with us as long as you could.
Like I feel like a sea lion's like barks a little more vicious than like a cute and cuddly sea otter, little otter.
Feisty Kitty said the otters were diabolical.
Oh, were they? Oh, they were diabolical.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wonder what were the sea lions to her? What did she feel about those? Did she say?
No, not yet. We'll see what she.
Yeah, let me know if she says.
What,
yeah, you really have to take your own personal like how you feel about something.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
I know when you share your dreams with me too, like we get kind of I'm able to ask more questions about how you're seeing something or feeling about something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's totally because we all have our unique perspectives.
That's right. There's common themes, but there's also things on a very personal level often, or how you're reacting to things is also a lot of meaning.
On the medicine cards, there is an otter. It is number 8 of the medicine deck. What is it called? Medicine cards. Number 8. I don't have the description on here, but if somebody's got that deck, you can check it out. And what was it?
I know.
Sea lion, right?
I know my friend Travis has animal deck, and we have looked up the otter before, but I can't remember what it said, which card it represented.
Oh, it doesn't. Maybe there's not a. I don't. Oh, wait a minute. What does that say? I want to get my glasses back on. I'm sorry. I sound like my dad.
Get my glasses.
Oh no, that's his mountain lion. Okay, okay. I knew I wouldn't see. I'm like, what the heck does that say? It has a funny script. That's so funny because I totally judged my dad when I was younger. I'm like, come on, can't you strain a little bit harder and see it? Why?
Nope.
Because I was the one that had to go get them. Go get my glasses, son. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But no, I totally see it now, or don't see it now. Right?
Exactly.
So let me look at the chat and see if she said anything really fast here. Got so tied up in the. Let's see here. Okay. She says the sea lions weren't unaware of what the whole war was even about. They weren't
So
unaware.
they didn't even know what the problem was.
Or they were unaware.
They were unaware what the problem was.
She says weren't unaware.
Oh, weren't.
Yeah, unless I don't know. Sometimes you voice text and it switches stuff around. I'm like, no, and then you got to correct it. Let's see. I had a phone call. Oh, no problem, Alva. You can always bump. Okay, yeah, she did say were. She meant to say, I mean, they were unaware. Yeah.
Right.
You were right. Interesting.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
How do you broker a peace treaty with someone that doesn't even know they're in the middle of a conflict, right?
They don't even know the threat they're under. Well, that's really what's kind of describes the situation right now, right?
To a T.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
And try to tell them, but yeah, we can only do what we can do. And I think, it really is up to each individual to, what they're called to focus on. And,
right.
But whatever it is you're choosing to focus on, I think being aware of not diffusing your energy.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things going on, so many different directions. So don't let yourself get pulled in a million directions. If you get called to, address something or follow something specifically, then, do so. But don't let yourself get pulled apart.
Right.
By too many things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Always using your heart, especially now as a judge of everything going on, because so much crazy stuff going on right now. And I know a lot of us have kind of felt like, I'm going to lie low for the time being. And we felt that. But now, I don't know, I'm starting to feel the energy of, this push, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
With the whole convoys happening and everything.
Right.
So anybody else that wants to take part in that can, go to these overpasses and log in and, we can connect that way. I think it's going to be beautiful. I might be able to just keep the stream going all day long. I don't know.
Right.
That's kind of my hope is that, we'll have a lot of people here and there that want to show what's going on and it'll just be a fun time for us. And then, we can hang out in the chat and everything. So.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea. Yeah, I think you should, really get called. Like if something excites you and you're feeling that pull and draw to it, but that's it. It excites you, right? Yeah, the progress and feeling. So we, I think we're all going to be called to do like different things. So in different ways. Well, we all have a unique way to approach this.
Yeah. Sorry, somebody was spamming. Okay.
Spamming again?
Oh,
we had some spamming last time, didn't we?
Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Did I actually get unshadow banned? I'm actually going to try something. I think I've had it before where you put a video out and it shows you the little yellow emblem to show you something was wrong with it, and then I've changed some stuff in the description and made it change to green.
Right.
And so I was wondering if the whole shadow ban thing's automatic, like any of those yellow videos I have, or maybe once I reach a certain point where I have enough green videos that it outweighs the ratio. You never know how it works. You know what I mean?
And they change the rules all the time.
And they change the rules all the time.
Yeah, and I don't know anymore because I haven't even been on doing my channel stuff for
another reason why you have to use intuition, right? Because a word that's you might not want to use a word. It might be okay now, but it might not be tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So it's always changing.
Yeah, the rules are always changing. The dictionary's changing now. Let's just change the definition of words.
Yeah, isn't
it means this now. Okay.
Right. That's that whole backwards thing we were talking about,
Yeah. That's okay. People are starting to realize It had to get crazy for people to snap out of the illusion. They're mesmerized, they're hypnotized.
Yeah.
Right? So you literally got to shake them, and some people, they're going to, get it not by another person necessarily, but by life, but the energy, you get a slap a couple times. Yeah. There's going to be many attempts, I think, for everybody to be given what they need to wake up. So, but there's just plain also people, we have to realize that they know and they're choosing to. So I'm not going to be able to wake up everybody. That's okay.
Angel Magic Crafts is in the chat. Hello. They're saying hi to us. 11,
Hello.
11. Love the 1111 on your name.
Yeah.
All right. So it seems like you had a dream. Was there any other dreams or anything? You did have some hovering, floating dreams again, kind of pulling with energy.
Yeah, what did I tell you about last time? It's just a problem. The memory's just like a blur. I know I have. Well,
it seems like you had a dream the night of your BQH, but I won't put you on the spot, because I know how hard it is to remember dreams. Go get your dream journal. No, I'm just playing.
I know. I need to write it down more, but I just floating in a different way. Use memory in a different way. Yeah, I pull in what's needed. Obviously, if it's not coming to mind, it's not for me to share right now. So maybe next week it'll come into play another time. Yeah, definitely quite a few levitation dreams, and lots of those since we've even since we took a break there.
Yeah.
But I think that'll come out gradually as we continue to do shows and sort of express the larger concepts of how those dreams have affected me, or pulled together different bits of wisdom and information. Mm-hmm.
Well, before we go, why don't we all, since we're here together now, let's just take a couple of deep breaths and connect with that heart energy that's there with us right now. And just breathe that in and feel our connection together. And really sigh, that sigh of relief that it's all going to be okay. We're all connected in love and light and unity, and it's only spreading, and there's nothing that could stop it, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. All right, so we'll wrap this up. We'll be back next week. We might be reporting live at the same time, and we'll just talk about whatever we see or what.
Yeah, cool. Play it by ear.
We'll just play it by ear. We have no idea. It's all a big surprise at this point. So.
Yeah. Who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow?
Right. So lots of love, light, and unity to each and every one of you. I love you. We love you. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Peace.
Right together. Let's go.